Raising kids of TikTok and Snapchat generation, soon to be metaverse, is no joke. And now, with holidays around the corner, parents like us have a big challenge: keep the screen time under control. After dozens of family experiments, countless dinner table discussions, and almost 1 year of homeschooling, we now have up our sleeves some non screen creativity boosting activities that kids actually enjoy. I'm going to share 5 of those activities with you today. Before that, I'm also going to tell you what makes an activity creative so that you can turn anything like baking, organizing your home for Christmas, playing a board game into a creative time. I'm going to give you the creativity formula. The activity that you choose for your kids should be open for interpretation. It should be open for exploring. It should not come with a set of instructions but some kind of a framework. Instructions tell kids exactly what to do, and we don't want our kids to blindly follow some set of instructions. At the same time, we don't want to leave them clueless. A good framework provides the right amount of constraints. For example, draw a dog is an instruction, whereas draw an animal with your favorite superpower is a framework. It makes them think, which animal should I choose? Which superpower should I pick? What will be the costume the animal's gonna wear? They use their own imagination. They're not looking for answers from Alexa or Siri. They use their biological search engine, their mind, and the more they use it, the more powerful their creativity algorithm becomes. The Minecraft and Roblox world that our kids live in today. Click the button, get the treasure. Push a lever, unlock the super speed. The time lapse of a day's effort on TikTok feels like a minute's work. So what's bad about instant reward? We are losing the ability for long-term thinking. When we consistently work towards something like building a good habit, learning a new skill, the reward is not just better, it's more satisfying. Unlike unlocking a new Roblox level. The reward comes instantly, but the instant gratification is actually gone in a poof, leaving kids craving for more. Whichever activity you choose for your kids, ensure that the reward comes after a considerable amount of effort, like writing a story, finishing a painting, arriving at a solution to a problem, etc. Research has shown that multitasking doesn't really work. It comes with huge task switching costs. You need deep focus. Great minds like Elon Musk are known to achieve this flow state. It's the mental state when you're fully immersed in one thing, you feel energized, and you put your best work forward. So if your kid is painting while watching TV or working on math problem statements with multiple tabs open, including one Netflix, they are not exercising their creativity muscle. Creativity muscle needs 100% attention. Remember the classic Legos from until 10 years back? They didn't come with any rules or instructions, just a box of different sizes and colors of bricks, tires, and wheel rims. My kids would empty the box on the floor and spend hours assembling them into bridges, buildings, cars, whatever came to their mind. Then they would break it apart and think of something new and start building from scratch. Somewhere down the road, Lego started coming with detailed step-by-step instructions of what exactly to build. Now you see dinosaur building kits, Star Wars kits, Disney sets, Harry Potter themes. Kids don't have to think what to build. They just have to clone what's on the box. It's almost like memorizing facts from a textbook and regurgitating in the school exams. It is a lot of effort. It requires their 100% attention, and it also has a delayed reward. But the open-endedness is missing. While Lego is doing this for business reasons, we as parents shouldn't be encouraging lazy brain activities. So what then? Should we stop buying Legos? Instead of getting Lego kits with what exactly to build, go for classic Legos. Or just throw away the instruction manual. Lack of instructions encourage imaginative building. Why just Legos? Encourage building anything from their own imagination. I know some parents who keep STEM and crafty stuff ready, and they tell their kids to build anything they feel like. I found this drawing journal from Typur, the local stationery store. It says 150 drawing prompts to spark creativity. They are all interesting prompts like draw your favorite flavor of ice cream, draw a dog on skateboard, draw a flamingo, draw a blossoming flower. Draw something pink. I compiled a list of 50 of my favorite prompts and added some of my own. You can download it for free. The link is in the description below. This one is an activity that should become an everyday habit, not just for kids but also for grown-ups. It comes from James Altucher, author, entrepreneur and angel investor. It's about coming up with 10 ideas every day and writing them down as fast as you can. Ideas about what? It could be anything that's bothering you or anything that's interesting to you. You can do this as a family or you can do this individually. For example, a few days back, we had a 10 ideas session where we came up with unique ideas on how to make the best of holidays without traveling. One day we had one for how to decorate our home for Christmas under $30. Honestly, it doesn't matter what topic. What matters is working out your ideas muscle every day. The more you use it, the more it builds up. I find that the best ideas come after a run or a workout or after playground time in case of kids, when your mind is rebooted. But you don't need to head out every time you want to do an ideas session. As James Altucher suggests, read something inspirational, something non-fiction for 10 to 15 minutes. That puts your mind in the right state for coming up with fresh ideas. You'll be amazed at what you can come up with if you do this every day for a month. There might be 50 bad ideas, but one will be a very good idea that you would want to work on and make it happen. When we read, we exercise our comprehension and analytical abilities. It also fires up our imagination and helps us make new connections. Good books and deep reading rewires our brain and makes us smarter. Teachers, parents, everybody knows this. Kids are repeatedly told to read at school, but it's more of something that they have to do. Instead, reading must be something that they love to do. It's not enough to just tell them to read. We need to provide them with an environment, a framework that makes reading enjoyable and something that they look forward to. A family readathon is a 2-hour uninterrupted reading session we have every Saturday afternoon. All 4 of us take our comfy spots in a room, make the temperature a little cooler, Singapore is hot, put our devices away, play a soft music and enjoy a book for 2 hours. Fiction helps kids develop a love for reading, so it's perfectly fine if your kid wants to read the Percy Jackson or Harry Potter book for the 4th time. Gradually, you would want to encourage them to start reading non-fiction. The more they see you reading, the more inclined they would be, and holidays is the best time to start a practice like this. As grown-ups, we tend to forget that if we want our kids to pick a good habit like reading, the best way is not to tell them to do it. Instead, you start to read and enjoy. They'll get curious and would want to emulate you. This one is my personal favorite. I've been writing letters to my future self since 5 years now. I use this website called futureme.org. You write a letter to yourself and pick a future date to deliver it to you. A month from now, a year from now, 30 years from now. It's quite amazing hearing from yourself. The best part is that you don't have to hold yourself back. You can be silly, you can be angry, you can be whatever you want. Writing for yourself is different from writing what others can see. It frees you up and lets you think and imagine and write with a free mind. Especially a very good exercise for introverts and for people who are shy. Although this isn't a non-technology thing, you can always encourage your kids to write a physical letter, save it in a folder, and let them open it a year from now or 2 years from now. Works beautifully either way. We would love to hear what you think of these activities. What are the creative activities you and your kids do at home? Write in the comments below. I hope you find the drawing prompts helpful. For more such weekly videos, subscribe to our channel.